Dear Unity, UNITY. I'm so sorry, y'all. I was putting on my eyelashes before this video. Look, it's giving. I don't know, but nevertheless, this one kind of probably leaning, but we gonna keep it going. Anyways, dear Unity, UNITY. So I was getting ready. Today is July the 2nd, 2023. This is literally probably my first time in a while doing a video. I'm in my room. So let's just get right into some things. So Dear Unity is an open diary that I just do for myself. So if you are not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe and leave a comment below if you choose, if this video resonate with you in some way. And if you are one of my followers, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me and just looking at this video. I really appreciate it. Anyways, Dear Unity is me just venting. It's an open diary. I really don't promote it. It's something that I just, kind of upload because I'm more of a talker than a writer. So instead of having a journal, I have a diary, a video diary. So anyways, let's get into some things today, July 2nd, 2023. You guys, I have literally been going through, like a lot of, I'm not gonna say like a lot of ups and downs. It's more so of being conflicted about some decisions that I have made recently. And shout out to this lady named Bella. She's on uh she's on YouTube, and this is a lady that I follow. I watched a couple of her videos. She has really kind of pulled me through. So you guys go check out her videos. And matter of fact, I'm gonna tag her because I just want to let her know thank you so much. And it's so crazy because I was praying and asking God to remove certain things and people out of my life. And soon as I was praying about it, bam, I got a notification. She had just posted a video about soul ties. And then even with this morning, she had posted a video about, basically letting us know how she wasn't perfect and how she has backslided, even though, she's been, talking about walking on this spiritual journey and being celibate. Now, me personally, that's what I've been being conflicted with. I always been a type of person that has been guarded, and it's hard to like let people into my inner circle inside of me. And when I do, uh, it's discouraging because it's a ghosting factor. You see what I'm saying? It's the ghosting factor that I feel like that I'm dealing with, and it's so frustrating because it's kind of like when you're a good person, and when you have not intentionally did nothing wrong to a person, and then they still end up messing it up. Like what? I feel like, Tyrese, why me? And I had to ask God for a lot of forgiveness, for these past couple of days and stuff like that because I'm still human. So I overthink. I'm working on my overthinking, but I still yet deal with overthinking a situation. And a lot of times I think more so of the negative or the negative outcome, more of a positive outcome from it. And I just want to let that be known. Like, they can sometimes hinder you in life. You see what I'm saying? Like, in life, when you're always thinking about the worst. Even like these past couple of weeks, like it's been challenging. But I want to say, I thank God for still being right by myself. Like, for example, I've been on food stamps, SNAP benefits, however y'all call it, EBT, since I had kids, right? So I sit up here, it was time for my renewal. I did everything I was supposed to do. And the next thing they still denied me. So, I'm crushed because at the end of the day, I am a single mother. So let's just be honest. Like, if I'm not getting the help that I need, then yes, you know what I'm saying, I have to make it up some way, somehow. So in that mix of me losing, you know what I'm saying, my benefits, I was very, upset, but I still trusted God. So I still was able to provide for my kids and stuff like that. But I was looking at the fact of like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like you're able to, I was just like, okay, granted, you know what I'm saying? I do, have the money to probably, put towards food, but if I put this towards food, then I'm taking away from me saving for my rent. And then I started to get wary because I was just like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world? Like, if I use this money, then what about my rent? I gotta still pay my rent. And then I'm be lacking out for this, and then I'm gonna fall behind bills. And you know what, you guys, the best way to be is be worry free. When you pray and you have asked God to put his hands on a situation, or you know what I'm saying, to help you or whatever, is I'm working on this myself, is to like let it go. Like relax, breathe. My light bill was like over 200 or some dollars. My rent was coming up. I didn't have no way, no how of how I'm going to pay all of this, being a single mother. And on top of this, coming out of pocket to pay for food and stuff like that. And then having, a credit card that I probably use for emergencies, trying to use some of that to maneuver it around. And so, in the mix of it, I began to ask God to, like, you know what, God, allow me to, um, please allow me to have the type of income that will suppress, you see what I'm saying? Like, will basically, you know, any type of needs and desire that I want, I don't even have to be on any type of government assistance, because I would have the income to basically, you know what I'm saying, have for my bills, and on top of that, have double in a more and enough to even enjoy myself, to invest and to have money to spend with my kids. I do not want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't even want to rely on the system to feel like, well, if they do this and they do that, then therefore, you know what I'm saying, like, how am I going to survive? Because let me tell y'all something, you know what I'm saying, the system is really not meant for you to grow as a person. And that's just honestly to God, to be real with you. Because at the end of the day, I was over here thinking like, oh my gosh, like they want to know everything. They want to know, is your is your butthole brown and your it's pink, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Did you, you know what I'm saying? Did you chip drill last week? Did you know what I'm saying? Did you do this? And it's like they do all of that. And then just to sit up here and be like, here goes some crumbs. Now, you know what I'm saying? Go on. And it's so crazy because I was looking at something, this lady named Peach, they'd be on YouTube and stuff like that. And she had said something, she might have posted about, I'd rather be low income, or I'd rather be rich, because I never want to be middle class, because middle class people get, basically the hardest time, and they end up with nothing basically, because you gotta think of it like the rich people have enough money to spend on whatever they want and to their needs, and then the poor people, they give the poor people way more money. Like if you ain't got nothing going for yourself, they gonna give you way more than you ever expected. Like the government love to like pour into these people. And then, but if you're middle class where you have enough money, you're not rich, but you're not poor, and you're in the middle, you are going to get whoosh. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get tortured, and you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be so difficult for you to basically, you know what I'm saying, like to survive. It's kind of like pick a side and stay there. But I just want to say thank God, because even in the midst of me being worried about a lot of stuff, and being kind of like concerned and all this type of stuff, he has really, you know what I'm saying, like showed his true colors all the time. And I think on one of my last videos when I was up here talking, I was talking about that issue. I was just like, before the video cut off, I was like, I want to be closer to God. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, I have fell short when it came down to one of the temptations that I was doing so good with holding on to. And it's really conflicting me. It's really bothering me because I understand that we all fall short. I understand that sometimes we tend to, go back to certain ways or certain things and people or whatever that probably or isn't good for us. And just like the lady Bella was saying, like, you're changing as a person, and you're on the right path when you do those things and you feel guilt. You feel guilty. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, like I really want to get back on, the path that I was on, versus you doing that stuff and then it's kind of like, oh, okay, I did it. Okay, I'm back at it. You know what I'm saying? We back in the game with it. Versus you being like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's conflicting me and I have to sit back and ask God to forgive me, and and know that He has forgiven me and I'm at peace. Um like I said, friends, say, today is July the 2nd. So we only got 6 more months to before the year is ending. And I just thank God for still being here, still being healthy, still being good. And I just want to magnify his name. And I know sometimes it's not like I've been kind of doing Dear Unity. I was looking at my thing. I want to say I started in 2020, started doing these videos and stuff like that. And I even said I was gonna go back and watch some of these videos to see, my mindset and my growth, because that's the reason why I upload them. But I don't know. Even when I started this video, I was like, let me write it out, but I know I need to do it. But it's kind of like as I'm talking. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry because I just want to say I thank God. I want to ask for forgiveness, and the forgiveness that I want to ask for is for doubting Him. You guys, like, if you're going through something and you know He might not come when you want to, but He's literally always on time. Prime example, just told y'all how I was going through all this financial situation. So I remember applying for some apartments in the process of me moving, and it was like January. I had applied for these apartments. I really was excited about it, but the deal with them was you had to pay your application fee, and on top of that, you had to pay your $300 deposit. Now, that was kind of weird to me because I was like, I ain't never heard of that. Like, I ain't know that you have to pay a security deposit, even if you do not, decide or even get the apartment. But they was like, oh, and it's non-refundable if you basically don't pass your drug test, not drug test, but your background and your rental. And them was the two main things, but they said it was non-refundable. So of course I applied because I'm like, I don't have an issue with either one of them. But do you not know, in the midst of me applying, they ended up denying my application. And at the time, I think that they wanted to deny it because I was already like aggravated, because I'm like, I need to know answers within a week or two. It shouldn't take out that long. So they end up denying it, and it was like, oh, you don't get your security deposit back. And remind you, that's $300. I already had to borrow that from one of my friends, and even though I had ended up paying them back, it just still bothered me that this company did not want to refund me back a security deposit, and they did not want to give me a reason. They never did follow with a letter. They never did do anything the professional way. Like, I was literally trying to fight for it, but then in the midst of me trying to fight for this money order bag, I still had to find a place to stay. I still was like all over the place, still having to work, still having to be a mother, still having to look for a place. So this really discouraged me in the process. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I wish I could have sued them for pain and suffering. But nevertheless, so months went by, whatever. I ended up getting the place that I really needed to be at, and I'm loving it. But let me tell y'all, one particular day, I still had the stub to my money order. So I was looking on the back of it and it said that, oh, okay, if you want to report it for a replacement or stolen, you can call this number. I called the number. It basically lets you know if the money order was either cashed or not. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see. So I listened and I had the number, and then I typed in my money order number. It never was cashed. So the people never did basically, you know what I'm saying, like run it through and cash it. So the company was like, well, hey, you can always get a replacement. You just have to send us the proof of your stub and your ID, your information. So I was like, cool. So when I went ahead, I did all that. But then the catch is that you have to wait 30 days. So once you basically file a report, you have to wait a whole month. So I was like, okay, guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? I'll wait, because you gotta think about it. Now is what is it's May at the time. It's like either May or June. So I'm like, okay, cool. If they haven't cashed it since then, I know out the blue that they're not gonna cash it. So, anyways, I went ahead and filed the report, but then it was like, okay, you have to wait 30 days before we send it out, just to make sure. So I said, okay, because I had to verify it. Do you guys not know? So this past week, it was time for me to pay my rent. Like I said, I was coming out of money for food, you guys. Like, I had to come out of like money for food. My kids are out of school and I wasn't getting any type of benefits anymore. So I was like, Lord, some of the money that I'm using is really towards my rent. I do not, I'm not going to have this amount. So I began to pray. I began to ask God, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, please, you know what I'm saying? Like, help me out, like, I'm trying not to worry, but then I'm only human. Can you please, settle my mind? So you guys, I turn around. I prayed. I actually had like a book over here, and I prayed, and it said like, write your prayer request. So I wrote it all down. Do you not know, kid you not, I was already in the midst of asking one of my friends. I was like, I know I can ask this person for the money. They're going to give it to me without a doubt. But it's just like, I don't want to keep asking them. Even though I paid them back in the time period, I was just like, I do not want to keep asking them, because I don't want people to feel like, okay, she always hit me up when she wants something. But oh yeah, and on top of this, y'all, I had to just get an AC unit, like an AC compressor for my car. So y'all know that costs money. But favor. Anyways, the next morning, I really wasn't even gonna check my mail because I know I don't get nothing. But I was like, okay, I'm budgeting, so maybe I see a sales paper in there with some coupons. I go to my mailbox the next morning, you guys, after I already had it in my mind, said I'm finna pray, I'm finna pray, but I gotta still think of a plan B. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna hit my friend up. Long as they at least give me $200, I'll be able to, make the cut for my rent, and then I can pay them back the following week. Do you guys know, when I went to the mailbox, I pull out the mail, I sit in my car, I see a letter from Oklahoma. I open it up. It was a check for $300. Woo, it was a check for $300, you guys. I just began to be like, oh my God, thank you, God, thank you, God. Because not only I was already fit ass to friend of mine for 200 to borrow 200, but God went ahead, you know what I'm saying, and gave me 300. You see what I'm saying? Just so I can have enough to, you know what I'm saying, get by. And I was just so overwhelmed, God. I was so happy. Let's just say my rent is paid for the month of July. I'm definitely blessed behind that. I thank God for that. And I was like, God, I thank you. I am right now in the process of looking for another job. The job that I'm in now is retail. So anybody that ever been in retail knows it's up and down. And I'm believing in God that I want a job that deals with people. I love to dress up. I love to talk to people. I love to, I get so many compliments. I'm not even trying to be funny with y'all. Like, I'm not gassing the situation, but I get so many compliments on my personality and how I treat people. And people be like, you're always smiling. You always look nice. You know what I'm saying? I even got, let me tell y'all this too. Because, like, when I'm talking about God blessings, like, let me stop playing. So, not only did, you know what I'm saying, God end up making the check. I wasn't probably supposed to get this check until probably like they was supposed to mail it out June the 30th. But I ended up getting it that, you know what I'm saying, that particular day, which was last week. Okay, then before that, I goes to work, you know what I'm saying? Like I go to work last week or whatever. My manager was like, "Hey, I'm on break on my 15." She's like, "Hey, I meant to let you know, you got employee of the month." That was the same week that I had paid my tithes last weekend. And I was like, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paying my tithes, but I ain't really got it to give, but I'm trusting you. Do y'all not know what I paid in tithes? I'm getting half of that back in my employee of the month. Employee of the month bonus? Stop playing. And on top of that, while I'm up here just sharing blessings, let's talk about how my car that is paid for because it's a cash car did not have my AC compressor went out. Anybody know in Texas, this weather like it's sickening. It's like 100 and something. Do you not know? God turned around, my mechanic ended up ordering the part. On top of that, he really surprised me when he ordered it. Shout out to my mechanic. He ordered the part and he just called me, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Hey, I got the part coming in for your car. Come up here and get it fixed." Now remind you, I'm like, okay, thank you for buying the part, but I ain't got the money for the part. I ain't had the money for the part or the labor. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the money for the part or the labor. And I was like, oh, but he was like, "I thought about you and your kids and being out in this weather, and he already got it. Come up here and get it fixed." Now, remind you guys, you know what I'm saying, the part costs, over $400-500. And on top of the labor, it would have cost me probably a good $300-400. Do you not know this man only said that I had to pay for the part, guys? The part the part. And he got the part for a discounted price. So the part ended up costing, $290. I only have to pay him $300. You know what I'm saying? That's for the part in the labor. You can't tell me that God is not good and favor has been over my life. So as I end this video, because I don't know why, but I feel like I just was rambling. But nevertheless, he's in control. Like, I'm still blessed. I'm still popping. I'm still that chick. Yeah, I have to gas myself up now because I feel like I came on this video a little, you know what I'm saying, a little, not being myself. But yeah, I'm still that. And I just thank God. I appreciate and I magnify his name. And I know that no matter what I go through in life, he got my back. And I just need to work on trusting and letting it go all together. Because even though I pray and I ask God, please, you know what I'm saying, help me with this and help me with discipline, I have fall short. Or I don't stick to what I say I'm going to stick to. But thank you, God. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to start, trying to monitor my Dear Unities back like I used to. But for as now, it's up, y'all. It's up. I cannot wait for these couple of months. I'm going to come back on here and talk about a letter that I wrote. That's what I really was supposed to be talking about. But I was saying this. I was just basically, I just need to get this off my chest. I don't know why, but I did. But much love to everybody. Peace, love, and unity. And like I said, Prince, say, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to, leave a comment. My goal is to really have 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That's my goal. I know I need to start pushing this narrative and different videos and stuff like that. So y'all be looking forward to it. Bye bye. Oh, let me do my thumbnail just in case. All right.